There were four big developments today in the American Sniper murder trial. The defense requested a mistrial based on a mistake involving state evidence. That request was denied. The state rested after showing police video of Eddie Routh's behavior when he surrendered. And then late this afternoon, the defense presented Chris Kyle's sniper rifle as evidence and called Eddie Routh's mother to the witness stand. Fox 4's Phil Alvarado is at the Erath County Courthouse. Phil.
Clarice, prosecutors were wrapped up with a jailhouse phone call by Eddie Ray Routh to a reporter, but the defense went right to the heart of its case, calling Routh's mother to testify about her son's troubled past. Jody Routh says after returning from combat, her son was changed, wasn't as happy-go-lucky. He was admitted to the VA hospital because he was suicidal. She asked Chris Kyle to help her son because the hospital had diagnosed Routh with PTSD. Jody Routh says when she heard Chris Kyle may have been killed, she called Chris Kyle's cell phone number and says she prayed to God that he would answer. The state finished with Routh's conversation from the jail. In the call, Routh sounds irritated, almost angry, that they were only using pistols for target practice at the gun range where he'd gone with Chris Kyle and Chad Littlefield. Routh tells the reporter, "Okay, we're shooting pistols," pretty much saying duels. Routh said he shot Chad Littlefield first. He says he shot Chris Kyle just as Kyle had finished emptying a magazine in his pistol. As prosecutors built their case, the jury watched police dashcam video. It shows Routh surrendering following a police chase in Chris Kyle's pickup. Today, jurors saw video from the backseat camera in the Lancaster police car used to take Routh to jail. Routh seems dazed and confused, breathing heavily at times. He tells someone through the door he's nervous about what's going to happen to me. Someone from an EMS crew asked if he's okay. Routh says, "I've been paranoid and schizophrenic all day. I don't know what to think of the world right now." Monday, jurors saw a videotaped confession. Routh tells a Texas Ranger he killed Chris Kyle and Chad Littlefield. He also says he knew what he did was wrong. Last Friday, prosecutors presented a former Erath County Sheriff's deputy. He testified he heard Routh say in jail he killed Kyle and Littlefield because they wouldn't talk to him during the long ride to the Rough Creek gun range. Jody Routh also testified that her son was on 9 different medications, some of them for psychosis, and she says at times she would smoke pot with her son because it had a calming effect on him. Testimony has ended for the day, but right there at the end, Jody Routh revealed that her son was still getting some VA benefits. That raised some eyebrows by the judge. Interesting today, while the mother was on the stand, she and Eddie Ray Routh never really looked at each other. There never seemed to be a real connection. At one point, she actually looked at him, but he would just look down, and as we've said over and over again, would continue to write with his pen. Clarice?
Okay, Phil, take us through that evidence mistake that came up today. Defense requested a mistrial. That was denied. Help us understand how that could happen.
Well, it was a mistake. We don't know on whose part, and it was something that the state was very anxious to clean up and take care of in front of the jury. It all started when a couple of vials with a liquid ended up in the evidence boxes, the drug paraphernalia that we talked about last week that crime scene investigators took out of Eddie Ray Routh's house. Well, it seems that those vials didn't come from the house, even though the jury was led to believe that they were. A crime scene investigator, a lab investigator came up and said, those are vials that we use to test for marijuana, and we'll leave those in there just to see if anybody wants to do any retesting. But clearly, somebody should have known that those weren't part of the evidence.
So the defense asked for a mistrial. The judge denied that, but that could come up later on appeal.
Yeah, that's a very real possibility, and basically the defense said, hey, the damage has been done, that you can't repair this. And the judge says, yes, we can. I believe that we can cure this by going and explaining this to the jury and then asking them to disregard the vials and any testimony about them.
Phil Alvarado live in Erath County. Thank you.